Hey guys, this is Michael and David bringing you the review of episode 2 of the season 4.
Last season of
Walking
Dead.
Of The Walking Dead.
Telltale games.
Yeah, with Clementine. So, first we'll just again go through a short, non-spoiler, just general thoughts of that episode. So it was about 2.5 to 3 hours to play through if you're taking your time looking at everything.
Finding the collectibles.
Finding the collectibles and stuff, which... hit or miss. You either find them or you don't, I feel like.
And the small little details they have in the game.
But yeah, besides that's about the length, which is I felt like was significantly shorter than the first episode for some reason.
I don't know. While I was playing it, I felt like it was the same amount of time as the first one. I guess I just lost track of time.
Lost track of time. Got done. I don't know. I just felt like there could have been more stuff to do before we got to the point where we did in the episode, but whatever. That also being said, I didn't think, personally, I liked it as much as the first episode, but maybe because it was a little slower, more character developy.
Plus, you knew the characters beforehand and what was possibly going to go on.
Yeah. But I guess, you already knew what was going on, so it wasn't like brand new, fresh, hitting the ground running. That still being said, out of, a 10 rating, I'd still probably give it, it was good. It was fine, like a 7.5 or something.
I actually liked it, better than the first episode.
Oh, you did? Probably because of some of the things you got to do.
Some other things, yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta be in first-person shooter mode at one point.
With the freaking bow, I can't shoot a bow for some reason. I need a gun that shoots bullets fast, not a bow with an arc and a slow arrow that flies through the air. Okay, whatever. Anyways, you liked it. Clearly, I did not as much. But yeah, I mean, you just keep developing the story where you're at the school. You just shot Marlon, so you have to deal with the consequences of that. Well, you didn't.
Well, AJ shot,
but you guys are a team, so you know what.
Yeah, you're pretty much together.
Yeah,
and whatever actions he does, it's pretty much your fault.
Yeah, your fault because you're the quote unquote mother or guardian of this kid. So yeah, you have to deal with that, and the kid's freaking out that AJ just shot one of them essentially. And you bump into familiar faces. They make references to a war that's going on that made me believe that it was connected to the TV show to a certain extent.
Really?
We can explain that in a little bit. And then there's some consequences for some of your actions and how you treat some of the people in your past and how you want to protect the kids going forward. Essentially, the Raiders, they cause a ruckus.
Yeah, they're mean adults that want to take over everything.
The adults pushing their agenda on us. We're just kids trying to live in this crazy world. But yeah, that was a general synopsis of kind of what happened, and now we'll kind of go into a spoiler talk about it. So
if you haven't played it or just don't want to be spoiled, just turn this off.
Turn this off. Get out of here.
We don't want you. Or stay. We like you.
Hopefully they left already, because I don't want them to hear that. All right, so starting with the actual
it was in the kitchen.
breakthrough
of the game.
So
yeah, you essentially start the next morning waking up in bed. You at first I was just are they just going to completely ignore what happened the prior night? But then you start going through
it's
flashback sequences of you talking and the kids talking around you, freaking out that AJ just shot Marlon.
Yeah,
and it's oh man, that kid shouldn't have a gun. You teach him this kind of things. And then you start to realize that some of the things you did teach him in episode 1, you go back to again. Like I said, always point for the head.
Yeah,
and that was repeated again in this episode.
Same thing with my scenario. You don't hesitate.
So, which led you down to the same path of just shooting the guy.
Yeah, which I guess mean the same thing.
So, understandably, the kids are all kind of pissed at you for the most part.
There's a couple people who agree with your decision, like Violet.
Yeah, for me, Violet for me, I chose to have Violet protect me and stuff in the first episode, and you chose Lewis.
I chose Lewis, even though Violet had my back.
Yeah. Oh, really?
When I shot
that's right.
Marlon, or AJ shot Marlon, so.
Yeah, so Violet was still on my side, and sounds like on your side too, where I'm guessing Lewis for me was oh, I can't believe this happens, walks away. He's you're just a murderer, the worst person ever.
Yeah, same with me. Mm-hmm. But he's still kind of iffy on the fence about it as well.
But whether or not
this was a good thing or a bad thing, or
yeah, obviously and like I even told AJ the next morning, it's like, hey, listen, it was not cool because Marlon wasn't really a threat anymore at that point. Like, technically you are a murderer, and that he kept on going back to that point. Like, what's a murderer? Like, you know, was that different than like just killing somebody? But yeah, I said like, hey, he was defenseless, so you like murdered him. So, not cool, dude.
Yeah, I said that as well. You had other options of saying like, no, you're right. That was
deserved
a good.
it.
Deserved it. Yeah,
Good kill. You aimed for that.
But no, you're trying to be a good parent and be like, no, that was a bad decision.
You have to think about like if you're going to pull the trigger or not on somebody.
Yeah,
when they're just standing there, not being a threat, really. But yeah, then that morning, Ted comes into your room, and then he was like, "Oh, there's a funeral going on a little bit," and essentially you go out to the yard, and
they're having a little ceremony with Brody and Marlon being buried.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they all look at you like again, half the kids seem to be like, "How dare you show up?" And the other kids are kind of like, "Well, we're uncomfortable, but you know, you still kind of belong.
Have to live with it.
You have to live with it." And you know, Marlon did some dark things by trading the twins away and everything.
Yeah.
But then they essentially, after the funeral, they say a couple words. Like Violet, actually, for me, was supposed to say some words about Marlon, and she's like, "I can't," and like runs away.
Exactly.
But
after all that, they kind of get over and they want to have a vote to see if you stay in the group or they're going to kick you out.
Yeah, and for the most part, I was just like, listen, I'm staying out of this. Like, obviously, my vote doesn't really matter here, so I'm just going to go back to my room. You guys just do whatever you want.
Yeah, for me, the whole time, I was just thinking, you're not going to shoot down my pride. I don't care if you kick me out. I know how to survive.
Yeah, I know, exactly. I mean, obviously, like, you're with AJ. You don't want him to die out in, like, whatever land out there. But yeah, you go back to your room. I'm just sitting there, like, still like, AJ, this is, you know, why you did a bad thing, whatever. But I'm just like, whatever. They're gonna kick me out. I don't care.
Yeah.
And then Violet like came in, I think,
and Louis.
Louis.
Is it Louis or Louis?
I really don't. Well, I say Louis. I'm just gonna say Louis.
Okay, we should just say Louis.
I'm just gonna say Louis because I'm pretty sure it's Louis, even though you know people can pronounce it both ways. I think so. Whatever. I don't care.
But yeah, both Violet and Louis come in the room and tell you the bad news that you're gonna get kicked out.
Yeah. But Violet's just like still kind of defending you though. She's like, "Listen, I tried to vote for you. I tried to like sway things our way, but like obviously you got kicked out." Where for me, Louis was just like, "Get out, dude! Like, you don't deserve to be here. You killed my best friend."
Yeah. So I like told him like, "Thanks for the help, Violet, but we got it under control. We'll just leave." She's wondering about your decisions. Like, you're not gonna fight for it? Or
I did the same thing. That's weird. Like we're making the same decisions here, and. Yeah, again, she's like, wait, you should fight for staying here. Like, you belong here. Because she, like, later on, I found out personally that she kind of likes me. So, she wanted me to stick around. But for you, she probably just wanted, because you knew you were capable, able to defend the place. So, she probably wanted
the most mature of all of them.
They're a bunch of teenagers.
And they've never really moved around at all.
Yeah.
But you've been to different locations.
Like, you know how to live out in the wild, not behind walls, essentially. She brings, Clementine does bring up that point later on against Mitch, who's another kid in the school.
Yeah.
Who's like trying to act like a tough guy, and you're just like, well, you never lived outside the walls. What do you know? So yeah, you do get kicked out with you and AJ, and Violet and Louis bring you out to.
They escort you out to outside the safe zone.
Outside the safe zone, essentially. And again, well, actually, at one point, Louis tries to steal the gun. Well, not steal, but ask for the gun from AJ, and I'm just like, it's AJ's gun, dude.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's not your property, so.
Yeah, I understand he shot a guy, but we talked about it. It's cool. He's keeping the gun.
He has one shot left.
Yeah, it's one bullet. Was he gonna shoot you too? So yeah, they lead you out, and again, I think Violet. I'm like, hey, listen, it's cool. You defended us, but we gotta go.
And so you kind of break apart with Louis and Violet.
Yeah, they leave you be. You start walking off with AJ, and then like literally like 30 seconds later, you hear
get shot.
You get shot at by nobody other than the Raiders, and Abel, really, because he's the guy you shoved out of the window.
Yeah, you see that he actually lost an arm.
Yeah, so he did in fact get bit. I thought he got like bit on the shoulder, so I'm like, oh, he's screwed clearly. But I guess apparently he got bit on the arm, so he just got it chopped off. And Clementine right there tells AJ, it's like, yeah, if you cut it off fast enough, you're fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's walking around. Him and a woman are walking around, and I think I don't know exactly what happened at that point, but at some point they like get you from behind cover and are like shoving you on the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with you.
I think you go to attack Abel, but then you're gonna kill Abel with or AJ's gun or something like that. But then the woman kind of takes over AJ and kind of strangles or captures him.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like
because for me, Abel had AJ.
I think they kind of switched places
at some point.
At some point,
yeah. And then like she's pointing the gun, and like you're on the ground, you turn around, and then she's like Clementine, and you look up. And for half a second, I had no idea who she was.
I had no idea the whole time until she said Lily, and then she explained her backstory.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh yeah, do you remember me?" And I was just like, "Oh yeah, it is Lily from the very first."
I said,
season.
"Nope, I have no idea who you are."
Oh really? I did say I recognized her, and I knew that she was Lily at that point.
Don't remember me.
But yeah, I mean, in the middle of season 1, you essentially leave her at the side of the road as Lee. So like,
well, you had an option to either keep her in the group or just leave her on the side of the road.
Oh, for me, she killed Carly season 1, so I'm saying,
she
like
did.
That girl.
She did kill her, and then you had the choice. I remember that you had the choice to either have her stay in the group or leave her on.
And even if you did keep her in the group, she ended up stealing the RV later on anyway. So she essentially left in the middle of season 1. So yeah, she's back, and she's part of the Raiders, and they're looking for the school that you just came from, and she starts like questioning you, like, where did you come from? Like, we know there's a school of kids somewhere around here, and she's like, do you know where it is? I'm just like, I don't live there anymore. Yeah, like I'm leaving. See ya.
And you keep iterating the point that you won't kill me because we're family, and you wouldn't do that to family.
Oh, did you get lines like that?
Yeah.
No, I was just like bold. I didn't say anything about family. I'm just like, you won't kill me. It doesn't matter. I'm leaving. I'm walking that way. But yeah, I said I didn't know anything. And then suddenly in the background, you see Lewis and Violet start sneaking up in the back, kind of by some trees, like they're going to start shooting their bow and arrows at the people. And I told them to run.
I told them to shoot.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
What happened in that little interaction?
Well, Violet shot Lily in the arm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did, like, straight into the arm or just skimmed it?
It was straight into the arm.
Oh man, I should have told her to shoot. Dang it.
But in my situation, we're trying to run away, and so you go through like a quick time action portion where you're just running away for a bit, trying to get away.
Are you with like Violet and Lewis at that point?
No, you're just with AJ, just running away. And then you find a group of walkers to hide with. And then at one point, Abel shoots AJ.
In the stomach, yeah.
In the stomach, yeah.
He has a shotgun, essentially, so a bunch of scatter shot goes into his stomach. Not very deep, but it's still a wound, nonetheless. But, like, essentially for me, it's the same thing, except for they didn't shoot, they just started running. And the whole same kind of sequence happened where, like, Abel was shooting at you with a shotgun and whatnot.
Yeah.
So was Lily, and then you come across the same walkers, and AJ does get shot as well.
Yeah.
So, similar thing, just you got freaking Lily in the arm, and I didn't. Dang it. And as soon as I bumped into her and I recognized who she was, like, I was like, oh yeah, she's really not that great of a person. Like, I'm just instantly like, I do not trust her. It does not matter. I'm not telling you a thing. Like,
oh, did you when you're on the ground, did you accept her hand to get up?
I didn't. Yeah, she like extends her hand to you because like she's like, oh yeah, we know each other, so I'm gonna help you up. No, I'm doing this myself. I
accepted the hands.
David, what are you doing? She's not to be trusted.
I'm gaining her trust so I can betray her.
Oh, gotcha.
Like everyone in this story.
Just stab him in the back. Ooh. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, you run out to the forest, this group of walkers, and the whole Raider thing, like they're trying to look for the kids to recruit them.
Yeah, for this giant war.
Which they mentioned. But like, at first Lily's just trying to help the kids. Again, I don't trust them. But yeah, you're in this group of walkers, you're like stabbing them, you're fighting them and whatnot, and AJ's like starting to bleed out because he's got this buckshot in him, essentially.
Yeah.
And yeah, that quick time event was kind of fun, but then again, it was more of just like making sure you kill a walker at the right time so that second walker doesn't jump on top of you and kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was a little like fun doing that, I guess, trying to manage killing them at the right time.
Yeah. And then you find out there is one suspicious walker just walking around that is acting kind of human-like.
Yeah, I went up to him to stab him because I thought he was another walker. Then suddenly he grabs my hand, and I was like, crap, what's going on?
I don't think that happened to me.
Oh, no, you didn't try to stab him?
I didn't try to stab him.
Oh, no, yeah, he came straight at me, so I went to go stab him. He grabbed my hand.
Like, he put up his finger to his mouth saying, like, shh, and he, like, threw a rock to distract the walker so they walk away.
He did not do that for me. I tried to stab him, he grabbed my hand, then he did, like, the whole shh thing, but then he just started, like, leading us away. Maybe he did throw a rock, but still, it was a little different, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so, yeah, you see this guy who's essentially dressed up as a walker, wearing walker skin mask, essentially, and he looks like this old man walker or whatever, and he leads you all the way away from the walkers and the chaos of like Lily and Abel shooting them or whatnot.
Yeah.
And you're carrying AJ, he's bleeding. You lead him to a log, and then you go through like this kind of surgical like event where you got to rip the buckshot with like, this knife out of AJ's stomach.
I was like, I wonder how this is going to turn out.
I was really surprised how tough AJ.
Yeah, he didn't scream as much.
He didn't scream at all. He was just like trying to be quiet.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all the noise he made for you digging a piece of metal straight into his stomach. But yeah, you do that again. I was impressed by how strong AJ was. Like, he was like, yeah, this kid, he belongs with us in this group. And then the Walker man essentially gives you some like bandages to bandage him up a little bit, and then he goes like and makes a fire because at this point it's night 9 or something. Yeah, where it's like night. So you like bring AJ over and you kind of talk with this guy. He takes off his mask and you find out he looks like he's about 18 or something, like an 18-year-old kid.
Yeah. As longish hair. He's a guy. So.
Yeah, his name is James, I believe.
Yeah, it's James.
James.
He also offers you an apple for AJ.
And I took
yourself.
it.
Yeah, I took it.
Yeah, I ended up like respecting a lot of what he wanted me to do because he essentially saved our life. So I took the apple. Later on, like a walker kind of walks close to the campfire, and like you're about to kill him,
but he tells you not to, and just respect the dead.
Respect the dead. Essentially, throw a rock to distract him. It's like there's other ways to get rid of walkers, essentially.
Yeah.
And so I threw the rock.
Yeah, I threw the rock too. I want to be respectful around him.
So like by the end of like the episode, I get for like James, who's like, he really respected you or something like that. As far as like the stats, and I was like, that's probably gonna play out pretty well for me later on in the season.
People who attacked you
probably turn out as an ally eventually.
Well, yeah, at this point he's a pretty solid ally, I think, because he essentially, and he like explains kind of in the back story that he's a whisperer, which are like these people who dress up as walkers, like live among the walkers, which is kind of weird, but whatever. He's in your life.
He's living this long, so
yeah. Which I actually wanted to know more about James because they kind of like bring him in for like 15 minutes and then he's gone again because he brings you back to the school and then he just walks away.
Yeah, because you need more bandages, medical supplies for AJ to survive.
For AJ to survive, but like some of his backstory is really interesting. Like he used to be in this group of whisperers and then he left them because the whisperers started killing humans because they would like kind of lead groups, like giant groups of walkers into like encampments and start killing people.
Yeah.
I was like, that sounds kind of interesting, but
maybe we'll hear about it later.
Yeah, because I really do hope James comes back because his backstory to me personally is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think.
But yeah, wait until the next morning till you bring AJ to the campsite or the school.
Back to the school, yeah, because AJ's like bleeding out essentially. Like he needs meds, he needs to be patched up because all you really did was essentially put duct tape on his stomach and be like, "Oh, there you go, kid, like you're fine."
Well, when you started pulling out, I was like, "Is that really gonna work?"
Well, apparently not, because AJ's like almost dead by the time you bring him up to the gates.
Long story.
The kids do let you back in because they see that AJ's injured. There's still some of them are kind of like, we don't really like you, but AJ's about to die, so like,
yeah, we can't really let another person die.
Yeah, so we'll deal with him right now. But as soon as he's good, you guys are out, except for like Violet and again like 10 was on my side, I think, for the most part.
Yeah, I think Ruby was
kind of on our side, but that was pretty much it. But the school was pretty small at this point because like 2 kids died the prior night, whatever. And later on, more kids get kidnapped. Yeah. So like the school keeps shrinking in population. But yeah, I find out that like Violet's the leader at that point. She's like trying to run things.
Yeah, it's Violet and Luis is like her right hand.
Not even for me. Lewis was still kind of like walking in and out, like he was kind of depressed, like you killed his friend.
We don't let it take over.
Really?
Yeah, he wasn't really talking to us much. I mean, and I see in the background, like, you know, when AJ's like getting worked on by Ruby, because like Ruby's kind of like a medic or a nurse.
Yeah,
she knows a couple of things about first aid, so she's like patching up AJ, and like Lewis is there. You know, I think it is Luis.
The courtyard's pretty wide open. Not a lot of
I'm just gonna say Lewis, whatever. He's like there trying to like cheer up AJ or like try to be there for him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He still didn't seem like he was too happy with me.
But you get brought into like the
This
conference
is
room
where we should make our
with
stand.
Violet.
There's only
Talk
one
about
way
this
in,
whole
the
situation.
front.
Yeah, because you have to like tell them about the raiders and that they're coming essentially for you. Like they're gonna find out where you are because they're definitely looking for the school. And then you essentially come up with a plan together how to bulk up the defenses and how to prep for the attack essentially.
Yeah.
Which leads you to a greenhouse that you have to go through like a whole thing with Ruby and Mitch. They both end up going with you.
Yeah.
Again, Ruby's kind of warm to you to a certain extent, but Mitch really does not like you at all. It's like couldn't care less if you died.
Yeah, you're arguing with each other the whole time. But
Yeah, which it was funny enough. Like the first episode, I didn't interact with him at all.
I don't think I did either.
Yeah, and then like the second episode, you like start developing more of a character with him. Like, you find out he's really into bombs, and that's kind of why he was at the school in the first place, is because he was a troublemaker with bombs. So they essentially sent him to the sporting school. But yeah, you go through a bunch of like greenhouse stuff. There was like a mushroom on the table.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't eat it.
I picked it up and I ate it.
What happened?
They gave me an achievement, so...
Really?
Yeah.
I was too scared. I thought I was gonna die because like anything fungus related, I'm just like, it's sketchy.
Like, it's natural and it's
so
edible,
many funguses can kill you, David. I'm so nervous now.
I might die in the next episode because of it, but I don't know.
Yeah, like halfway through, your like stomach starts hurting. You're like, oh
Game
no,
over.
yeah, game over. And it's like you cannot continue because you ate a mushroom. So anytime you reload a save, you just instantly die again.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, you had to clear out the greenhouse so you could get some like barbed wire.
Yeah, you find all these like different tools, like a shovel.
Which I don't know what you're going to use it for because you like store away all the stuff to use later, and like it doesn't come up later on in the episode. So I'm just like,
yeah.
I don't know.
You do use the shovel because you go further in the greenhouse before the science lab, and you find
Mrs. Martin or Miss Martin.
Miss Martin,
Yeah.
Their old
nurse, school nurse.
Yep.
And that's where you kind of find out Ruby learned some of her first aid stuff was from this Miss Martin.
Yeah.
Because like when all the parents left them, she was the one who stayed and like was teaching these kids how to survive essentially.
Essentially, yeah. And then you learn the backstory of how they lost the greenhouse, how they got overrun.
Miss Martin
stayed behind to stop the walkers from getting them. So.
Yep. And then you find out she's just like this corpse on the side of a wall.
Yeah, tied up.
And then I'm just like, stab, gonna kill her like real quick.
Because Ruby couldn't do it.
Yeah. Ruby's just like, I can't. You gotta kill her. I was like, oh, alright, I'll kill her. Dead.
Yeah, and so you're able to have an option to either bury her or just leave her be.
I'm starting to have more of a heart because I buried her.
Yeah, I buried her, but yeah, Mitch didn't like that at all.
Yeah, he's like, this is a waste of time. It's a dead walker. Like, why do we have to bury him? And Ruby's like, we knew her. We gotta bury her. And so, you go bury her. And then I still help Mitch with the whole bomb thing because you need to find propane and fertilizer. Well,
you
fertilize.
Fertilizer.
Yeah, you have the fertilizer. You have to find some propane and like a little lighter.
Yeah.
So yeah, you find all that stuff, and again, you find out all the stuff about Mitch, about loving bombs and whatnot. So you come up with like a bigger plan of how to like stop the raiders when they finally show up. I think after that, there's like a weird like horror or like nightmare dream sequence, which was kind of weird.
Yeah.
You go to bed, like AJ's there to heal up or whatnot. You like go through this whole thing where, like AJ's like doesn't want to sleep or anything anymore because you find out he's having nightmares about Abel.
Yeah.
But you yourself have a nightmare about like the force in school and like this dark red hallway.
Yeah, it's like deja vu sequences that might happen eventually in the future.
Yeah, which was like really weird, and then you like wake up from this nightmare and it's just like, okay, you had this nightmare, nothing really came out of it, so what was really the point? And then essentially you guys start prepping for the attack. and 2 weeks go by. So it was kind of weird at first because like you're in your room and then it like just starts going really fast.
Yeah.
And you see AJ get up, you see yourself get up, walk around the room, go back to bed, and then like sun up, sundown, essentially.
Yeah.
And then it says 2 weeks later. I was like,
yeah,
okay.
I was like 2 weeks. That's a long time for the Raiders to attack.
Yeah.
Or prepping at least.
Yeah, so they've been prepping for 2 weeks and waiting essentially for an attack for 2 weeks, and so all the kids are kind of on edge, especially AJ. He's like, you find him like one morning just sitting on the desk with a knife, or at least I did.
Yeah. Well, he was like crouched on the desk. That's when you mentioned that he didn't want to sleep anymore.
Mm-hmm. Like he made it the knife himself too, which I was again pretty impressed. I was like, yeah, this kid is kind of cool.
But you kind of talked him down to fall asleep with.
Yeah, he ends up falling asleep in your bed with you. And in the end,
even though there's one part where sometimes like you're still too young, AJ's like, I know. I was like, that's supposed to mean.
Oh, like too young to have to like maybe worry about all this kind of stuff. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, the kid's like 6 or something. So yeah, he is pretty young. Yeah. I'd say maybe like 7. Hey, I don't know what his age is, but he's somewhere like 6, 7, or 8.
Anyways, they're 2 weeks later, and everyone's still prepping.
Yeah, everybody's on edge. I actually went to so you go outside and like Violet's like, hey, go check on everybody, make sure everybody's still like ready to go and like is prepping or whatever. And you walk over to Mitch, and he still didn't even make a bomb that worked.
Yeah,
which I'm just like, it's been 2 weeks, dude. You haven't made a bomb that works yet. Like, whatever. But so yeah, you go check up on him. You check up on like a couple other things.
Lieutenant, AJ's on patrol. Well,
yeah,
they're not on patrol.
They're on lookout because they're up on the tower. There is a difference. Patrol, you're walking around, and AJ made that very clear to you. So if you don't understand that, clearly you don't know what patrol means. That was kind of funny though. Yeah, so they really seem to be bonding a lot, which is kind of cool. Him and Ten. At one point, even at the very beginning, Ten was like going to give him his toy firefighter.
Yeah.
And like AJ was like, no, I don't deserve it because I'm a murderer or whatever. But so yeah, they seem to have a pretty close friendship, which is pretty cool. Then you also talk to Lewis again, and you like have this whole bow and arrow thing where you try to shoot at a target. Yeah, which I shot every single one. Then I got an achievement for that.
Yeah,
you got the same achievement. It was hard. Yeah, you literally just point.
I mean, the target was swinging, but yeah,
very slightly. Which even Lewis kind of mentions, like, hey, if I was a slow-moving target with a target painted on my stomach, oh, you could shoot me too. Like, it's kind of funny.
Ease up the mood a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And then at some point,
I think at that point he kind of forgives you.
Yeah, because I mean, it's been 2 weeks too, and you've been living there prepping for this inevitable attack, kind of growing closer in general with everybody.
Yeah,
probably. Except for, well, even Mitch.
Yeah, because Mitch, he starts to
warm up to you. Yeah. Especially because like I seem to be pretty eager about the whole bomb plan too. Yeah, so I was like, oh, cool. Even let's see, I haven't really heard about Willie and Asen. They like come out together, arguing about like a whole trap. Yeah. Asen wants to go with like a bag of bricks.
Willie wants to have
a swinging
log, yes.
Yeah.
Which Asen thought that was impractical, kind of cartoony-ish.
Yep. He was like, oh, it can only ever hit one person. Where if we drop a bag of bricks, it might hit multiple people. And what ended up happening with the bag of bricks, it was essentially a duffel bag that was filled, and it just dropped straight down. And ended up,
it killed one person.
It killed one person.
I was like, okay, I thought there was going to be more.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I thought it was that he was going to like release it, and the bag would open up with a bunch of bricks to like spread out and hit multiple people.
I thought it was going to be multiple bags.
Oh, multiple bags with multiple. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. But yeah, it sounds like you went with the brick bag plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too because it gave you the choice, and then like Willie punches Asen.
And
runs away. They end up forgiving whatever, no big deal.
But after you kind of check up on everyone, Violet and Lewis suggest like a game of truth or dare.
Yeah, with cards again. So you do the whole like high card, low card thing, which I like. Okay, whatever, they're doing this again. And then again, of course, you lose, or no, you lose, win, lose, and then you aren't part of a 1 round too. So
yeah.
I mean, it was kind of fun because I had the which you probably got as well as the Mary Killen. They call it what? Flip. Yeah, which I found kind of funny.
Which they gave you the options of James, Asim, and Ruby.
Ruby, yeah. So I ended up saying I'd kill Ruby, marry Asim, and then flip James.
I did that as well.
Oh, you did the same thing?
I was like, I wonder what they're gonna say if I said kill Ruby.
Which is funny, yeah, because I was bonding a lot with Ruby, so I'm just like, I'll see how this goes. So, and they didn't really mention anything of it. They were just like, oh, Ruby was the odd one out, so you end up killing her, so no big deal.
Yeah, like, you wanted to flip James, didn't he have like a weird mask on or something?
Yeah, you say
skin?
flip James, and all they really know about James is that he's wearing walker skin. So they don't even know what he really looks like, and so they're just like, oh, weird walker boy, he's gonna be wearing like walker skin and whatnot. And I was just like, you haven't seen under the skin, man. He's not a bad looking kid, so.
Yeah. And then with Asim, it's just kind of like,
A little
I wasn't really
awkward.
into it.
Yeah, because
So-
like they're joking even before you start the game that Asim kind of has a crush on Ruby.
Which, he does lose one round, and I gave him the option to go kiss Ruby.
Oh, I did the same thing. I made
And
him go
he
kiss.
get punched for it.
Yeah, he got like, did he get punched or like slapped or something? What, something?
I think he got punched.
Yeah, he got punched. Man, he's getting punched a lot. I just realized that. It's so unfortunate because he ended up getting kidnapped too. For me. And I
He
was-
actually does.
This kid is he has the
It's
worst
a
luck.
bad day.
He's just having a bad day. I like the kid too. Like he seems like a fine kid.
He's a book smart kid too.
Yeah,
because the first episode he has this journal, keep records of the history.
Yeah, he's keeping records. He is essentially a diary of his day-to-day things. But yeah, he seems like a pretty smart kid, and he ends up getting kidnapped and punched twice. So whatever. And then let's see. There's also a round where like Ten has to talk about like something embarrassing he thinks other people would laugh at, and he thinks like there will be a day where there's no walkers anymore.
Yeah, like how there's an ice age or stone age, but
Yeah,
now
and-
the walker age.
Yeah, now there's a walker age, and eventually that will pass. And I was like,
It's okay that
you.
you don't.
Yeah, I respect that.
The war before this one
yeah, because
was
I like
pretty
10
shitty.
too. I don't know. I like a lot of the people in there, except for like Mitch. He was kind of mean, but even he seemed
And you
useful.
find out he dies later.
He's stabbed in the neck. Like,
It's getting dark.
sorry. But yeah, that happens. You play the whole like truth or dare game, and then like people start splitting up, and you have an option to go with Violet or Lewis.
And with Valiant, you have to go like do more patrol,
So,
like
we're checking the walls.
check on everyone, right?
From up there.
Yo, you don't know what
Best
happened.
view.
All right. No, that's not what happened. But you ended up going
I,
with Lewis.
I know she told me what
You ready for
what
a
she
climb?
was
What she
doing.
wanted to do, but is that really what she did? No, because I went with her. But you went
I
with
went
Lewis.
with Lewis.
Yeah. So what did you guys end up doing?
Looks a little
So he
better.
wanted this
What's
music
my
project that
favorite
he was trying to
That death
come up
trap
with,
called the car.
which was pretty much making up the song.
Okay.
And he wanted to tune up the piano that you saw in episode 1
Yep.
that he was playing. And so you kind of have like this thing going where you're tuning up the piano. He kind of had like jokes with you at one point where you have to blow on the strings, even though that's not what you're supposed to do with tuning the piano.
Okay.
And so you're kind of just being friendly with each other. And one point, Lewis is carving his initials in the piano, to, like mark the occasion, and then you mark your initial, and then
There's a
I
heart
had the
around
option
it.
to draw a heart around it, so I did that.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, okay, I guess that's is that a potato or something?"
Kids.
Now it needs a
And so I had the option to kiss him, so I kissed him.
Oh, you kissed him. Okay.
Yep.
And then, like, he was cool?
Yeah, he's into it.
Okay, he was into it. I see how it went. So yeah, that whole thing happens, and then
And then you confess your love for him.
Not so much.
Oh, really? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. And then you like after that, you just like go back into the courtyard.
Yeah,
Okay.
after that.
Cool.
That
So,
was my situation.
so yeah, with Violet, you say you go on patrol, but essentially, yeah, you go up into this bell tower, and you like end up climbing it. She's like, "Oh, it's super dangerous because there's not like stairs to get up to. You have to actually like climb the wall to get up to the bell
really?
tower." So yeah, you essentially get up to the top, and then you like see this cool view. You like see the blue like moon sky, like starlit sky, and everything really cool. Then you like play a small game where you're like trying to make up new constellations, because like they're just like, oh, I don't remember anything about constellations. Don't even know where any of them are. So like
Yeah.
we'll play our own game. So one's like a fish, and I say that's like AJ because he's like fun and always moving, whatever. one's a knife, and I say that's like me because that's strong and supportive, and independent, something like that. And then there was a bird, and I was like, oh, that's probably most reflective of you, right, Violet? And she's like, yeah, because I just want to be free and sometimes just get out of here and like float away. And she's being kind of weird the whole time, like kind of like emotional, like being shy and whatnot. And then she ends up like saying how she couldn't imagine ever being back here without you now that like you're back in her life. And then again, it kind of gives you an option to like kiss her, so I end up kissing her. And I was like, all right, got a girlfriend. Let's do it. Because for you were kind of focusing on Lewis more. Yeah. And then I was focusing on Violet, and both, depending on the branching arcs, you'd probably get romantically involved with one of the two.
Yeah,
and, so essentially you choose Lewis, and I chose Violet.
Also, I was kind of curious about the music he played, which was kind of nice.
It was good?
Yeah. And actually, there was one point where you have to like press a key, and he tells you that he'll tell you when to press it. So I just sat there, like, is he gonna say anything?
Did he ever say anything?
I don't think he didn't say anything. So I pressed it, and he's like, good.
Oh, that's okay.
I was like, okay.
But yeah, for a moment there, I was like, oh wow, I'm getting like a team. I was like, ooh, young love.
I was trying to get excited for this.
Yeah, it's hot and steamy in here. You probably got the achievement too. It's called like young love. Oh yeah, moving pretty fast. I think that's the description. You're moving pretty fast. Yeah, it's like young love. But yeah, so like I guess you have a boyfriend, quote unquote, and I have a girlfriend, quote unquote. That's cool. Good. Yeah, moving the story along. That's cool.
Well, I made an interesting after that.
Try thinking about something else.
I think I know what you're getting to. But yeah, you go back down, then you start like patrolling with AJ. Well, not patrolling, you're lookout with AJ, and then like you're looking with binoculars, and he like looks kind of out there.
Sorry, there's some people downstairs.
Yeah.
But yeah, you look through the binoculars,
and I see like a horse with like a cage. I'm like, this is so weird. And like AJ's like, do you see that? I'm like, clearly I see that. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I see it.
Good job, AJ.
And then like suddenly you're like, oh, this is it. So like you warn everybody, like, this is it. They're coming. And then like I don't know if like the sniper starts going off first, or they start yelling at you. Like
the sniper shoots first.
Yeah,
shoots
Omar. Yeah, it's Omar.
Yeah, Omar.
In the leg. So it's not lethal. Like he ends up going down, like crawling behind a picnic table, and you're next to him. Like you're good, right?
Yeah, you get him.
Yeah, you pull him behind, and he's like, yeah, good. Like just get back at him. Yeah, defend us. So like I was like, cool. This guy's pretty tough too. I want him on my team. So yeah, the Raiders break in. It's Lily. Lily. What's the other guy's name? Abel. Yes, it's Abel.
And then there's two others that come in. Celine.
Yeah, well, essentially there's a bearded guy, and then there's like another woman that comes in, and then there's like a sniper up in the tree. So they all like bust in. The sniper's like pinning you down. They're throwing Molotovs, like setting everything on fire, and like Lily's there, like, you guys better come out. We'll just take it peacefully, like kind of.
Yeah. Which.
And then like I think you like shoot back and miss. You like shoot the ground with your bow and arrow or something. And then like Lily's like trying to talk to all the kids, like, we know you're out there, because all the kids are hiding, and you're behind the picnic table trying to distract. Because essentially the plan is to bomb the cart with Mitch's bomb. So you're like,
I think I shot Lily again.
Oh, you hit her? I hit her. Like I pulled my bow and I got the circle thing, and it just landed on the ground. I'm like, right, all right, whatever. You suck, Clementine.
No, I think you just suck.
I'm mad now. I hate the bow and arrow.
Yeah, essentially the Raiders mentioned that, or Lily is talking about how they got the.
Yeah, and she like mentions.
Happy about it.
She actually mentions Minnie by name, I think, and Ten is the brother of the twins. He's kind of like, now I kind of want to go with him, because obviously he wants to see his sister. So he starts walking out. Yeah. And I don't exactly remember what happens, but like,
he kind of demands
to see the sisters, and then he starts backing off a little bit, and then I think maybe Lily starts going for him, because like Mitch comes running out, like trying to like defend and like kill Lily, and then Lily just instinctively stabs him in the neck. And for a second there, you like see that she's still kind of human, because she's like, oh crap, I just lost a kid. She just stabbed him in the neck. So she instantly stabs him in the head, just to kill him.
So he doesn't.
Well, one, not to turn into a walker, and two, she's kind of humane in that fact, so he doesn't bleed out, with his neck being stabbed. So yeah, he's dead. And instantly. I'm just like, great. Only
So then they start to get in a fight, essentially.
yeah, like there's just a huge firefight that just starts going out. The sniper's shooting, they're shooting. You're trying to like shoot back. Bomb does go off, by the way.
Yeah, in the...
Yeah, so in theory it destroys the cart, but it doesn't really at the same time, because at the end of the episode
They
still use the cart to like bring a bunch of kids away. So it's kind of weird. So yeah, they start pushing in. You like fall back into a house.
Yeah.
So and like we both chose the bag of bricks trap, which we set off and instantly just pounded that like bearded guy down. I was like, dang, that killed him. Like,
yeah, just like snapped back.
Yeah, that thing came down hard. And I was like,
I think it had a pretty good sound effect with it.
It did. I was like, that was brutal. I was like, I do not want to be that guy. And then like the other woman's like, no, and like starts shooting at you.
Charging. You push it couches.
Yeah, which she ends up living, but from it. But even then, like the couch, I feel like a heavy couch coming downstairs at you, like kind of like break some ribs or something, you know, at the very least. But yeah, you essentially
then they try to smoke you out by
Molotovs and whatnot. Yeah, and the only person who ends up getting up there to you is Abel, and then you kind of get in a fight with him.
Which I was thinking, he has only one arm. How is he able to acrobat over?
Yeah, he like jumps over the couch, whatever, and like at that point, I think he was even stabbed once at one point or something.
Well, you do get in a tough one with
yeah, and then AJ's like, oh
yeah, earlier that day, you have a discussion. AJ asks you to see April.
Yeah, like AJ wants to kill him. He's like, I'll call dibs. At one point, AJ verbally calls dibs and like starts stabbing the guy, which was like kind of funny. But yeah, you go through this like whole fight again. Like Abel gets stabbed like 2 or 3 times. I'm like, man, this guy's kind of tough. And then like you start like pushing him off the balcony because you're on the 2nd story at this point. You kick him off, but he grabs and pulls you down with him.
But you get kind of knocked down.
Yeah, like both of you fall, obviously, story, and then yeah, you're kind of like the whole like dizzy thing. You're like slowly waking up and seeing everything burn around you.
Yeah, then essentially you see a few of the kids
taken away while like Lily, I think, is pointing at that point Lily's pointing a gun at me, and I'm just like, just kill me. If you're gonna kill me, kill me. And she's like, you're just saying that because you think I'm bluffing. I'm like, no, just kill me if you're gonna shoot me. I don't care. Like,
yeah.
But then Lewis actually tackles her at that point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then like I think she knocks him out or something and drags him off. And
well, that's not really what happened. He's just fighting.
Oh yeah, she's fighting with Lily, and you're looking at Abel, which again his leg is all jacked up at that point too. He's laying on the ground because he fell straight into the cement. You probably like landed on him and rolled off, but his leg is jacked up at this point too. So he's got a jacked up leg. I think you stabbed him in the foot at one point. Lost an arm a day before that. Like anybody who's having a bad day, that guy's having a bad day.
And so then you find your bow. You see that, like, Lewis is fighting Lily and Violet's getting, like, taken away.
By that one woman, yeah. Actually, it was the sniper who was, like, trying to drag her away.
Oh, okay. I guess I didn't realize, but, yeah, essentially you have an option to save Lily and someone by Violet.
Yep.
And I chose to save Violet.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Huh, even though you had a new boyfriend. So.
Violet's
a more capable fighter, yeah. And I was just like, I have more of an emotional attachment to Violet, so I'm saying Violet. Plus, I kind of had a vendetta against the sniper. So. I was like, if you're gonna snipe me from a tree, I'm gonna shoot you.
Yeah, I gotta get rid of this.
Yeah, sniper's a dangerous one. So yeah, we both save Violet, and then you find out they steal Lewis, Amid. No, Asim. I just forget the guy's name. I apologize. Asim and Omar. So they steal those 3 from me. I don't know if they stole more from you.
I think those
just those 3.
I think they even mentioned it.
Yeah, they stole 3. Mitch is dead, and then walkers are all pouring in.
Yeah, and so then you go in like the third person and start shooting down.
Which I actually died because I couldn't, because I would like line it up with the X. It would be red X, my target. Let go, and then the walker would move and it would miss. Because it's not a bullet, it doesn't move as fast, so there's like a half second where it's flying through the air. It would miss.
I think it would just snap on for me. You also have to aim a little bit in the air.
don't like the bubble.
I did dive once, but then I found out you can actually...
Oh yeah, you could move around.
I was like, oh, this is kind of...
Yeah, so you could move around. You had to look both left and right because they're coming from 2 directions. So I'd like shoot 1, shoot 2 on the right, now turn, shoot 1 on the left or something like that. So yeah, you do that essentially twice, like 2 rounds of clearing out walkers, and then you get the school secured because essentially they throw all the kids in the wagon and they run away. Because I think at that point I did shoot Lily in the leg at one point as well. Actually, no, I didn't because again you said you had a choice. So if you would have chosen to save Lewis, you would have shot.
I probably would have shot her, but she probably would have died.
Well, obviously, like the sniper didn't die either. Like I shot her. The sniper's still fine. She still ran out with the rest. But the raiders leave, and so you clear out the walkers, and then you like come together like, oh crap. Yeah, you lose a bunch of people. You know, I still had Violet and AJ, so I thought I was doing pretty well. And then I think it just cuts to black from there.
Well, you kind of like trying to figure out how to find their campsites and disable.
Oh yeah, because
that's what Violet really wants to do.
Yeah, Violet says that, and you're just like, I said at least. I'm like, oh, clearly we're just gonna go get them back. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think Clementine says something like, "Well, do we have multiples?" I thought they were going to point to the dog, so they found the.
Oh, does that when
they point to Abel?
Oh yeah, because you captured Abel. He's the one that you keep. So that's like your small win is that you keep him and you tie him up. So yeah, at the next episode, I assume that you're gonna interrogate him, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, he's pretty beaten up already.
Again, he has a broken leg, a stabbed foot, and lost an arm. So like, and at one point, I think you like stab his eye or something too, don't you?
I think so at one point.
Yeah, you do stab his eye, or like or you claw at his eye, or like you hit him in his eye, something with his eye. So like 4 different things going on with the man, and he's still kicking. So
he just wants to die.
A lot has happened to the guy. But yeah, that's the full episode. One other thing to mention is that they're recruiting kids for a war that they're fighting up north. So that made me think that those raiders are actually part of Negan's crew.
I kind of see that.
Which is connected to the TV show, or just the comics in general, because Negan obviously is a character in the comics. So I don't know.
I just didn't realize they're...
Well, because they're in Georgia, and that's where like The Walking Dead for the main TV show kind of takes place too, like Georgia and like another southern state, I believe. Most of that series takes place, so I think they're referring Atlanta. Well, that's Georgia. So I think they're referring to The Walking Dead TV show, and so it'd be interesting to see if they actually go into the TV show's world to like where Negan's encampment is. And
it'd be kind of cool to see Negan.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool. So that's my hope in the future of actually where they're going. But I don't know what your thoughts are for where the encampment might be.
Yeah, that's. I didn't really have any thought of it, but yeah.
Yes, I don't know. Either way, it's going to be a breakout mission coming up pretty soon, and I hope you get to come across James again, and that like maybe he can bring like hordes of walkers to like break in.
He might be able to like help.
Yeah. So yeah, those are the 2 things I kind of hope for. The next episode is James to come back, and maybe they link it into the TV show. And if they don't, no big deal. I just kind of want revenge on Lily at this point. So again, yeah, I rated it probably like 7.5. It was fun. I didn't like it personally as much, but again, maybe that's because I don't like character development. But I do. I like character development. I just didn't feel like it was great character development. But maybe you'll just, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
It just got me.
That is true. Maybe because I didn't feel like I was training AJ as much, like teaching him as many things.
But I just don't really like this. That just started sparking.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I felt like it was coming since we got kicked out when Violet was like trying to fight for me personally. But I guess the same thing would happen with you, regardless whether or not you were pursuing Violet or Loomis.
Yeah. But I mean, full size.
Okay. Oh, that's fair. But yeah, I think that'll wrap up our little episode 2 review. Any other last questions or comments? Not questions, comments. Daily double? No. Thoughts. No. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment or something if you want to talk about the second episode. Excited for the third one still. There's only 4 episodes, by the way, in the season. If you didn't see. Yeah, there's only 4, so there's not a 5th one.
Kind of makes sense since I don't know if anyone's heard.
A lot of people.
Telltale.
I think everybody who's playing the game knows.
Yeah, they're essentially going out of business.
Yeah, Telltale is closing, so.
And there's really no word of the rest of the episode.
Well, no, they should. They have a release date for episode 3.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, it's November 3rd or something like that.
I swear they mentioned something like.
Oh, really? Well, maybe they're still working on the 4th episode, so maybe that's the case.
Yeah, it might be a little bit longer.
Yes.
Well, that'd be nice.
Smaller crew.
But, I don't know, it might be nice to have, I don't know, I just want the story to wrap up with Clementine. I'd like to know what happens with her. At the very least, her and AJ.
I just feel like
And you
maybe
know
either
if you are so used to burying your head in the sand.
Oh, really? Okay. Maybe. I hope... If one dies, I hope both of them don't die. I don't want both to die. But I wouldn't want either to die.
Well, yeah.
But,
it's storytelling. So
yeah.
Kind of.
But kill him? What?
Anyway.
But you have to kill him? No, you don't.
You out past the safe zone.
No. I want them both to live, okay, David? I want a happy ending.
Although I'd
Not
rather
a
have.
lot, but at least you won't die on the way.
Mean?
Thanks for making sure.
Then again, you've been hanging out with Clementine for 4 seasons, where AJ's only been around for a season and a half at this point. So, I don't know. Whatever. That's our review.
Get him under control.
Yeah. That's
Breathe.
Yeah. Alright, see you guys.
Bye.